Hello guys, welcome. This is Deepika from mytutorialrack.com, and in this section we are going to talk about Einstein Trust Layer. This particular section contributes to about 15% of the exam, and there are two main objectives for this section. So number one objective you have is to first learn about what is Einstein Trust Layer, what are the different security, privacy and grounding features of this trust layer, and the second objective is to implement and manage the Einstein Trust Layer. That is the second most important objective. This contributes to about 15% of your exam. Now, what is Einstein Trust Layer? That is the first thing we are going to talk about, is what is Einstein Trust Layer. As the name indicates, it's a layer of trust. Okay, this is a layer of trust that is built within Salesforce so that your data remains safe and making sure that you are not sharing your company secrets or customer data with these large language models. So whenever you're using generative AI models like ChatGPT, whenever you're using these models, there is a chance that intentionally or unintentionally you are sharing your customer critical information with these models. Now, these models can store that customer information for the learning purposes or for any other reasons. They tend to store that information. For example, let's say I go over to ChatGPT, and the first thing I do over here is I ask it to write a welcome email for my student named Rahul Rai, okay, who lives in New Delhi. Let's say this is the prompt I'm giving, who lives in New Delhi, India, and his phone number is whatever. I give some phone number. Okay, so now what I'm doing is, even though I just want a welcome email, unintentionally I am sending my customer information. When I hit enter, now large language model has an information about that, okay, Rahul Rai, there's the name of this person who lives in New Delhi and his phone number is this. Now, what if these large language models is going to store this information? It is not what if, they are going to store this information. Indirectly, what we have done is through this prompt, we are sharing some critical information with these models. Okay, so we have to be very careful. So trusting generative AI with your company secrets and customer data can be tricky. The Einstein Trust Layer is a secure AI system built into Salesforce to help with this. So this layer is built to make sure your data is safe. You can use generative AI. You're going to use the same model, but in between there is a layer. Once a prompt has been sent over, that prompt goes through multiple steps before it reaches large language model, and that is called as prompt journey. And once the response is generated at that model, that response gets sent back, and that response also goes through a couple of steps before it reaches the end user. And that is called as response journey. This combination of prompt journey, the response generation, and the response journey, it creates this trust layer. Okay, so what does this trust layer includes? It includes security agreements, it includes the technology and data privacy controls to protect your business while you're using these generative AI solution. That is what is called as Einstein Trust Layer. Now, this is how the Einstein Trust Layer looks like. So this is where everything starts, right? So from within the Salesforce app, you're using, let's say, a prompt builder where you're sending a prompt. Okay, so it starts with a prompt. Okay, and the prompt can look something like this. This is your prompt that you are sending to your generative AI model, and that AI model can be ChatGPT, it can be anything. It can be Azure AI model, it can be anything. Let's say this is the prompt template that you're using. And you can see here in this prompt template, I'm using these placeholders like contact.name, account.name, organization.name, contact.address. So the first thing what happens is it goes through the first step of the Einstein Trust Layer in this prompt journey is secure data retrieval and grounding. In this step, what it does is it retrieves the data securely from your Salesforce objects. So what will it do is it is going to fetch the organization's name, it is going to fetch the contact name, it is going to fetch the account name, it is going to fetch the contact address, all this information. Okay, that is what is the first step in the Einstein Trust Layer, is retrieving the data from Salesforce objects and grounding it. Then the second step is data masking. Okay, it is going to mask your data. And the third step is making sure your prompt is defensed, means nobody can inject anything into your prompt to change the meaning of your prompt. That is called as prompt injection, right? So prompt defense will make sure that nothing else is added to the prompt. And once all of this is done, that's when the data will be sent over to your LLM, your large language model. And that large language model is going to generate a response. And there is an agreement between Salesforce and the large language model, which is called zero data retention, which means that no data is going to be stored at those model end. Anytime a response is generated, that response should get deleted right away at that model end, so that that information is not being used by large language model. And this is the contract that is there between Salesforce and the AI model. Okay, so zero data retention means no data would be retained at the large language model side. Everything would be wiped once the response has been generated. Once the response is generated, the first thing is it will go through is toxicity detection. It is going to make sure that there is no toxicity in the response. The response is ethically correct, it is accurate. It will check for all these things. First thing it will check is toxicity detection. Then the second thing is it is going to demask the data. During the prompt journey, the step was data masking. It was masking the data before it gets sent to the large language model. So in the response time, when the response comes, it is going to demask that data. And then what happens is it goes through audit trail and feedback. So whatever the response came, it will be logged at the Salesforce end to basically you can provide feedback. Did the large language model gave you the right answer? Was it accurate? Did you like it? All of that information will be stored in the data cloud. So this is what is Einstein Trust Layer. So it has three important parts. One is called as the prompt journey, second one is called as the response generation, and the third one is called as the response journey. So this is about your trust layer. So we have covered this trust layer at, we can say, at a very high level. Now in the next lecture, we will go deep dive into each of these, the secure data retrieval and grounding, data masking, etc. We'll go deeper into these prompt journey and we'll learn more about Einstein Trust Layer. So I'm going to see you then. Thank you very much.